Vladimir Zelensky, aka Captain Sweatpants,
It's true.
sat down with Britain, and as he clutched his pearls in his rectum clenched, "Oh, why are you so focused on Israel?
What?
When look at my Ukraines."
What the fuck?
And just like a good pimp to hoe,
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
I wants my monies. I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this is What's Next. Hey, what's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo, What's Next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Tuesday. Look at this. Imagine being the third wheel or the fifth wheel. Imagine having a party and you show up and no one knows you're there. Imagine being someone who is so focused on other things that you've been left behind. That is going through the mind of one Vladimir Zelensky, yes, Captain Sweatpants himself of Ukraine, as the world focuses on Israel and not Ukraine. Oh, let me shed $150 billion tear for you. What the fuck? And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Zelensky tells Britain, world not focused on Ukraine anymore. Why? Divided by Middle East. Vladimir Zelensky, Captain Sweatpants, gave particularly keen thanks to new Britain Foreign Secretary as he visited Kiev on this past Thursday morning, as he lamented to help the world and have been divided by events in the Middle East, meaning the focus is no longer on Ukraine. Russia's destroying us. We need the monies. Why aren't you looking at me? Former UK Prime Minister David Cameron, unexpected back on political front from after he was brought back to the government 7 years ago to serve as foreign minister, is struggling. Rishi Sunak government made his first foreign trip in post on Thursday, visiting Ukraine leader Vladimir Zelensky, Captain Sweatpants, before private talks pair engaged in remarks for the camera, where Lord Cameron expressed his appreciation for fighting spirit of Ukrainians, and Zelensky thanks the British politician for having taken the time to come. Yes, thank you for visiting us, during this hellish war where you can come and take pictures and pal around with politicians. He told Cameron, "Thank you for coming. It's very important. Now you know the world is not focused on a situation on our battlefield in Ukraine. Dividing focus really doesn't help. We understand the help of the world can be divided because of the crisis in the Middle East, and it's a pity that you're still not focused on me." David Cameron reciprocated by saying he particularly wanted Ukraine to be his first official trip as foreign secretary, and said it was symbolic of the UK government, wanting to continue to support the Ukrainian military, not just this year, next year, but however long it takes, whatever it takes, including even going broke. Lord Cameron also remarked on how global attention shifted from Ukraine in the wake of the Hamas terror attack against Israel last month, and says part of this ambition, talk about October now, ambition for the visit was to figure out how to get the spotlight back onto Kiev. Yes! How can the world now refocus on Kiev when you've got some paltry little thing going on in Israel? Because who cares about Israel? It's really important to have this meeting, to hear what you need most, to work out how can we work together, how can we get the communications right with all our friends and allies to make sure the attention is here in Ukraine. I feel this very personally. Zelensky subsequently wrote that they discussed weapons for the frontier, strengthening air defense, and protecting our people with critical infrastructure, i.e. show me the monies, or show me more monies. The United Kingdom was one of the earliest and has been one of the strongest backers of Ukraine. It supplied air tank missiles to the country before the invasion began, and later donations of long-range cruise missiles have been pivotal to the major Ukrainian strikes against Russia, including the attacks on its Black Sea Fleet headquarters earlier this year. Well, we go from that to this. Zelensky, not satisfied with the level of Western weapon donations. But didn't he just say that he thanked Britain for supplying them with weapons? What? While acknowledging that he shouldn't complain too much, yes, but let me complain without showing you how I can complain. Zelensky again expressed his displeasure with the volume of Western weapons flowing into his country. There are not enough weapons in Ukraine, and this has been a contributing factor to the failure of the so-called spring offensive. Ukrainian President Captain Sweatpants. That said, not only the lack of supplies in the war in Israel has contributed to some of those supplies he hoped it's not arriving. Zelensky nevertheless told the Associated Press in an interview that he plans to overcome this nation's supply problems by begging for more money. He's not going. He's continuing his begging for money tour. And I'm just going to concentrate on us in the U.S. Forget about Britain for a second. Over $150 billion have been flushed down the proverbial toilet for this Ukraine proxy war with Russia. We can stop Russia from invading Ukraine. Really? Really? The second most powerful country on earth behind the U.S. can pretty much take Ukraine whenever it wants. It can do whatever it wants pretty much to Ukraine, but yet, for some unknown reason, they don't. They could have. There's been issues. There's been issues going on. There's been, cities have been hit. Kiev has been hit. But yet, with all this hellish war going on, Zelensky still has the time to speak with politicians, to take pictures with Vogue magazine with his wife, can pal around with famous people like Bono of U2. He has all this time, but yet there is a war going on and people are dying. Riddle me that, Batman. And yet, what does he do? He still comes out and slams Britain for not giving him enough money. Slams the rest of the world for taking the focus off of Ukraine and focusing somewhere else. Some little small country, that really is insignificant. It's a little strip of land. No one cares. More worried about, I'm sure he supports Hamas. I'm just assuming that he does. But at the end of the day, he's still Captain Sweatpants, greedy little son of a bitch, who has drained U.S. funds. But for Dementia Joe, to quote the classic Roberta Flack, do that to me one more time. Once is never enough. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.